Hi and welcome. Today we're going to be making potato cheese pierogies, and in the next few minutes I'm going to simplify as well as take the mystery out of making pierogies. So let's get going. First, you need to prepare your area, wash your hands and remove all the jewelry, which I have done. And now for the dough. We're going to be using a food processor equipped with a metal blade. You need 2 ingredients, 2 cups of all-purpose unbleached flour and 3/4 cup of room temperature water. Place your flour in a food processor. Secure your lid. And while the food processor is running, we're going to dribble in the water. Now it's very important for you to dribble in the water. Now this is a bottled water, a spring bottled water. You could use your tap water. Just want to make sure it's room temperature. And dribble in very slowly. Now if you're wondering where this recipe came from, this recipe was passed down to me by my mother. Now, of course, she did not have a food processor, so I took the recipe and I adapted it to a food processor. And you can see how the dough is forming. And you want to be patient, especially at the end. Keep dribbling in the water. Now, I'm going to let the processor just work on the dough a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to cover my work area with flour as well as my hands. Done. Remove the lid. You want to bring your dough over here. And you want to be very careful because the blade is very sharp. Now you're going to sprinkle some more flour. Now you don't have to really work hard on this dough because the food processor did all the work for us. But we want to make sure the dough rests, so we're going to cover it with cellophane. And we're going to let it rest for at least half an hour. And in the meantime, we're going to do the filling. Potato cheese filling is the most popular pierogi filling. You will need 2 cups of mashed potatoes, cold, and 2 cups of finely shredded cheddar cheese. In a larger bowl, combine the 2 ingredients. Now because I'm using mashed potatoes boiled in unsalted water, I'm going to add a generous amount of salt and freshly grounded pepper. And now we're going to mix this well. Now one thing you want to do is you want to make sure you do not use instant potatoes. You want to use fresh potatoes. You could either boil them or steam them, mash them and cool them down, and they could be done ahead of time. As for the cheese, you could use store-bought, finely shredded cheese, or if you like a cheesier filling, you could grate your own favorite cheddar cheese using a food processor. Now that looks perfect. Now we are ready for the fun part. So now, this dough has been resting for about an hour. You're going to unwrap it. You're going to divide it in half. We're going to wrap the one half for later. going to sprinkle some more flour, and we're going, with your hands, you're going to flatten the dough. Now this feels nice and soft. Just that's how you want it. So let's sprinkle more flour. Now, using a rolling pin, you're going to place it right in the middle, and you're going to roll it out to the edge. Middle and out to the edge. Now make sure you put some flour on it. Now middle, and as you roll it, press. There we go. So middle and out. And you can flip and make sure there's flour on it. Now don't worry about the shape of the dough, because we're going to be making circles, so it doesn't matter. It's middle and out to the edge. Middle, out to the edge. Now, right about now, you're probably wondering how many pierogies this dough will yield, but you should get any number between 35 and 40. Of course, it depends all on your rolling skills. So it's middle, out. I want to put some more flour, and at the same time, you want to feel the edging to make sure that it's nice and thin. And when it's not, you want to roll some more. There. This dough feels wonderful. Now you want to make sure that the dough is nice and thin, because the dough is supposed to complement the filling. It's going to hold and complement. Now let's put a little bit more flour and flip the dough. Okay, let's roll it a little bit more. This dough feels beautiful. Now, one way to tell if the dough is thin enough is if you put your hand underneath. You should be able to see your hand, and then you know you have nice and thin dough. This part feels a little bit thicker, so let's roll this out. There. Ah, that feels perfect. Now, using a glass in 3-inch diameter, you're going to start at one end, you're going to press down and twist. Press down and twist. Well, I think you get the idea. You could finish this later. In the meantime, I'm going to show you what to do next. You're going to remove the dough from around your circles, and I'm going to save this for a little later. And now, we are ready to do the filling. So, here we have the filling. Using either a teaspoon or a small ice cream spoon, you're going to scoop up some of the filling onto the palm of your hand, squeeze, and drop it right in the middle of the dough. You're going to scoop up some of the filling, squeeze, and then drop. Squeeze and drop. One more. Let's do one. And drop. There we go. Now, to close the pierogi. Sometimes the dough gets a little stubborn, so using a pastry brush, you're going to dip it in water. Now this is just room temperature water. Then to get rid of the excess water, you're going to dip it on a paper towel and then just dab the edges around. So dip the pastry brush in water, then into the paper towel to get rid of excess water, and then just dip the edges around. Just like that. Okay. Now, closing the pierogi. You're going to pick up the pierogi into your hand, fold it in half. Using the middle finger, you're going to press the filling in. Then you're going to dip your hand in the flour, and then you're going to take both edges and you're going to pinch them all around. There. Now, there's two ways to finish the edging. One way is to pinch all the way around. Using your middle finger, you're going to put it underneath, your index finger on top with your thumb, and you're going to pinch. You're going to go all the way around. Doesn't that look beautiful? So let's do that again. Pick up the pierogi into your hands, fold it in half, using your middle finger, press the filling in, and you'll have about half an inch of the rim right around it. You're going to go ahead and take two edges, pinch, pinch, pinch around. Now using your middle finger, put it underneath your index and your thumb, and you're going to pinch. Pinch all the way around. There. Now, let's do this again. Fold the pierogi in half, press in the filling, okay, and dip your hands in flour, and then bring both edges together and pinch around. Now, the other way to finish the pierogi is using a fork dipped in flour. You're going to go around and you're going to just press, press, press. Just want to be very careful not to puncture the dough. So let's do this again. Pick up the pierogi, fold it in half, press the filling in, bring the two edges together, pinch them around, there, just like that. And using the fork dipped in flour, you're going to go ahead and just press, 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 press. There. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the pierogi, and then I'll meet you at the stove.
Boiling pierogies is like boiling raviolis. You need a large pot full of salted water. You're going to drop the pierogies in, stir so they don't stick to the bottom. You're going to let them cook. Once they rise to the surface, you're going to let them cook for a minute longer. Once pierogies are done, using a slotted spoon, you're going to lift the pierogies out to drain. Now we're going to put pierogies in a strainer, shake them up to get rid of any excess water. And then you're going to place pierogies onto a parchment paper or a plate, spread them so as they cool, they retain their shape. Once pierogies are cool, you can freeze them, refrigerate them, or enjoy them now. You're going to heat a frying pan over medium heat, add about a tablespoon of oil or butter, add finely chopped onions, add pierogies, spacing them, and then fry them till they are golden brown. So here they are, golden brown, served with a dab of sour cream.
Well, I hope I have simplified as well as have taken the mystery out of making pierogies. Thank you for tuning in.